like to actually hear you tell a story now.
No,
Because if you said no, then bye the idea, the whole Star Trek reality. But yeah, did you know that before? That's why that was brought up?
I know it before.
No, did you know that's why people were talking about gas pressure and containers?
I definitely had heard the conversation, so I won't like other
Yeah,
people's
but
conversation.
do you understand the
It was the first
implications
time
of it?
it was the first time it was asked of me. And I don't know if I know all of it, but I've heard different responses to it. So I mean, I could probably give some of those responses, but I don't know if I've heard one de facto. Where does that route lead in that conversation? It seems like it's went different ways when I've heard it. But I guess the question I have for you is like, what? So because the gas pressure is made closer to the surface of the Earth, that's why the pressure is
No,
higher.
the gas is not gas pressure, but the gas pressure is the pressure exerted on the walls of the containment.
Okay.
The gases are, gases are created or
What makes the gas pressure at let's say at sea level different than the gas pressure 10 feet up or 50 feet up or whatever?
well, I'll just the
What
same
container?
answer. Yeah, the same answer I gave a moment ago is that's where the gas is
Because
created.
it originates from there. Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
I mean we were the 14.7 psi.
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's kind of strange that they've sold us on the idea that we're in outer space, yet the gas pressure we've been literally breathing it our whole lives. It's been right under our nose.
That's interesting. Hadn't heard anybody before state, or at least I don't remember anyone stating what you had stated, that the gas pressure was more at the surface of the Earth because of that's where it comes from.
Well, the problem, the problem is that if you really think it's the gradients, if you really believe that it's being caused by gravity, you would have to physically demonstrate air, like the air we're breathing. Can you physically demonstrate it being pulled down by gravity?
Yeah.
All right, post it. Let's hear it. Let's see it.
Man, you got me again.
Why are you?
I
Why are you
thought
mad?
gas
Why are you angry?
Because I'm trying to have a dialogue. I'm trying
No,
to keep my
time out.
hands
I'm no science
relaxed.
genius,
But
Shane. I'm no science genius, but
sure,
aren't gases defined by going in all directions?
going in all directions. I mean,
Yeah, isn't that what
they're,
makes
they're
it a
defined by
gas
trying to move
in
toward
all
equal
directions?
densities. They don't typically go. I mean, yeah, you could say it's capable of going in all directions, but it typically will try to move toward a lower density.
So gases don't go typically in all directions.
So it depends on
Hold on. He just said.
Are you sure about that?
Hold on. He just said that gas would go to the lower density. So why? How do we have it? How do we have gas pressure?
It's like some molecules are heavier than others. So when they or even gases themselves, there's ones that have different.
Yeah, but why aren't they going? Why aren't they out in outer space?
Some of them do. Some of them do fly
Oh.
away. I mean, you guys have heard these responses, man.
Yeah, well, you were saying it was just like, now it's just, oh yeah, some do. Yeah.
Wait, some do. So
You said that
not
they had a
gravity.
tendency
Gravity's
in
not strong
general.
enough. What
They have
happened
a
to gravity?
tendency in general to go toward lower density until they reach a point where they are heavier than that. So then they'll fall. Not a complete fall. It's not like it drops like a rain or something.
So do you believe the air you're breathing right now is not going in all directions?
Yeah, there's things that are going in all directions, but there's things that's the tendency of a block of a certain type of gas is to try to reach equilibrium and to try to go toward lower pressure.
So is that a yes? You believe that the air you're breathing right now is moving in all directions? That's a yes?
Some of it is, some of it isn't.
He seems to, unless I'm hearing you wrong, you're saying that it's being pulled in two general directions.
Let me think through that. Two general directions.
Some's being stuck to the ground and some's going.
So some of it. Wait. So that means some of it is not being affected by gravity then.
Well, maybe this is the gravity that makes things go uppy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, true. So do you honestly believe gravity makes things go up? You can't be serious right now.
I never said that.
Okay, so do you believe it?
No, I've never said that gravity is equal to up.
Okay, so gravity does not make things go up.
What was that, mate?
You said earlier, gravity uppy downy.
The definition of I used uppy downy as a like, hey, what just
goes
changed?
Up must come down.
Yeah, what must up must come down. There you go. That's what I said.
So it's gone up in the first place. So gravity.
I mean, you can throw things up.
Yeah.
If you throw something up, does that mean you're gravity?
You're applying energy to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what energy are you applying to a helium balloon?
Wait. So it's if it's not gravity that's causing something to go up, then what is it? Shane.
Typically, it's like density differences, like things that gases want to go toward lower density. They want to reach equilibrium.
So density. So that explanation that you just gave me does not involve gravity whatsoever.
I think it does, but that's fine.
But you never mentioned gravity in that explanation that you just gave me.
Because gravity doesn't encompass the entire answer. Gravity is a word that we use to describe what must go up comes down.
But you never needed gravity to explain why something goes up. Because you just said it's because of the density. It's over. That's all you need. You don't need anything else.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Why can't you just take that principle and just apply the logic? Like, because remember, we already established an upwards direction without using gravity. So why can't we just use that same principle for the downwards direction by reversing the logic? Without gravity. You don't. If you can explain the upwards without gravity, why wouldn't you be able to just use the same thing for downwards?
I never explained it as without gravity. I just said that gravity is not equal to up.
But you said when you explained why the balloon rises, you never mentioned the word gravity. You said it's because of density. That's what you said. You never mentioned gravity.
Okay. What happens when something gets really dense?
What happens when something gets really dense?
They come into our Discord, we point and laugh at them.
That was a softball there. Nice job.
What happens when something gets really dense? What do you mean? I don't know. Okay, I'll answer directly. My opinion is that it goes down.
Why?
Why does it go down?
Because it's denser than the relative medium that it surrounds it.
What phrase
It's
would
the
you, if
same.
you had to describe that? You had to describe that and say, this is the one word that describes things that are dense go down. What word would you use?
Relative density. It's not one word. It's two. That's
Oh
already
yeah,
been
it's
made
not
for
one
your
word.
convenience.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's not one word. Relative density. Yeah.
So it's
But
just
why do you
relative
need?
density.
But why do you need gravity if when something goes up, you told me it's because of density. Why would you? You don't need it then, right? Why do you need it? Because you already
What do you
told
mean? Why
me.
do I need it? It's
Okay, the helium balloon goes up, and you answered because of density. That was your answer, correct?
Yeah, it's one of the factors. Yes.
One of the factors. What are all of the factors?
And there's quite a few. I mean, I've heard some really crazy ones. But I think we'll just stick with that one. We'll just stick with that.
So there's other things. Oh no, this is gonna get.
Yeah,
No.
let's not let it go down that path. We'll stick with just that.
Okay, so the helium balloon rises because density, right? So
Yeah,
why would we
one of the
not?
reasons,
Why wouldn't we just keep that same logic or that same principle and just apply it to the downwards direction?
Cool. What's the force? Why does density go down? Why does heavier density things go down?
What's the force?
Yeah, what's pulling it
Do
down?
you need a
What's
force
making
when it goes upwards too?
I think I don't know if you need a force more than you would
So why
need.
do you need one when it goes down if you don't need one when it goes up?
So, all right, here's something I could do. I guess could I say that gravity equals relative density?
Specific gravity. Remember when they remember that back in school?
Yeah. Specific gravity equals relative density.
See, the thing is, the word gravity, it carries. It's like the word God. It carries a lot of baggage with it.
Sure.
So yeah, it's kind of.
And the fact that they called it specific gravity is a little suspect. But yeah, you were asking about why does the dense thing go down? Well, the relative density means that it's a relationship between two things, the medium and the object. So I mean, if like an apple tree got struck by a lightning and ended up in a pond, and the branches were underwater, if the apple came off the branch, it would float to the surface, not to the bottom of the pond.
I think it's because the alternative leads to absurdity. Like think of it like this. If you use density to explain why helium balloon goes up, and you have no problem with that whatsoever, and you never ask about a force, you never ask about any of these other issues. So you don't, when someone says the reason helium balloon goes up is because of density, you don't even blink an eye. You literally don't ask any other questions. You're completely fine with that explanation. But all of a sudden, for some reason, when something goes down, now all of a sudden you start to panic, and you can't, it's crazy that you can't just keep the same principle and apply it to the downwards direction. That makes no sense.
No, I don't have any problem doing that. So what I don't think I had a panic either way. I think what my response is asking the question on the inverse, not making any claim or anything when I asked a question of you guys. So saying that a balloon goes up because of density, as one of the contributing factors. I'm not sure how that's like, how I'm not saying the inverse is possible.
Well, why did they put helium in a balloon?
So it needs a container.
No, just why? I mean, I know you can blow up a balloon by yourself, but if you're having a party, you're probably gonna splurge and get some helium blown into your balloons.
Yeah.
So why did they use helium?
Well,
What they film with? Yeah.
Helium's less dense
Oh,
than like our surface.
so that's why they make the string taut when you tie it to the chair or whatever kind of party setup you're doing.
Yeah, but I'm sure you could be high enough.
Relative density.
Helium's hard because helium, basically nobody wants it, right? It's so light. And it's the first
no one
item.
wants it? So they say NASA's the world's top consumer of helium.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It's an interesting guess.
Yeah, but why do you have to I noticed you didn't say anything else about, well, there's other factors contributing to why they just use the helium because it's lighter than the air.
That's what I said? I said that was the only reason? Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, you didn't. Every other time you talk about gravity and relative density, you say there's other factors contributing. I'm just saying, you notice there you didn't say that.
I see what you're saying.
That's all.
I mean, I can explain it by it's 3:10 a.m.
All right, list them out. Tell us the factors.
There's no explaining. It was just you had a moment of clarity unbeknownst to you.
No. Oh, man.
Okay, list all the factors right now. Go.
Oh, God, dude. No.
One word per factor.
Pass.
Is it how many? Okay, how about this? How many are there? Give us a number.
No, I don't know the exact number.
What?
Of all the factors that would contribute to things going up.
Is it a plethora?
No.
Is it less than 10?
Man, there's so many nuances to when things go up versus when they come down, and when they come down versus go up. There's so many nuances to that. It's hard to nail down either way.
Okay, it's cooked. Let's move on to something else. Oh, how about? Oh, wait. I have a better question. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is the cause? What's the cause of gravity? Or a better question would be, well, actually, yeah, because you're coming from the globe perspective. So, in the globe perspective, what is the cause of gravity?
And
come on, bro, I could answer
density,
this in
mass.
2 seconds.
Oh man, I'm getting tired, man. But yeah.
You said density or mass?
Density, mass.
Okay, mass. Okay, so
yeah,
let's hold on to that. Hold on to that thought for a second. Okay. So, what mass? That when we're talking about something. Oh. Let me be specific.
Okay.
When we're talking about an apple falling from a tree, what are the masses?
The apple and I mean everything below the apple.
Everything below the apple?
I mean, you ask me what are the masses?
Yeah, the mass.
Apple,
so
the mass.
The mass of the apple, and what's the other one?
Everything below it.
Everything below it. So the entire mass of the Earth wouldn't be included in that.
Mm, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, it's
do
not gonna
you
like
now?
fall
Let
through
me.
the entire Earth, so it's kind of hard to. I don't know if
Okay.
I.
Let me.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's fair.
Damn, you almost got a yes out of him.
Like I said, I can say yes or no to yes or no questions, but that wasn't a yes or no question. We
Well,
were having a
yeah, it
dialogue.
was a yes or no question because you said everything under it, so that would be everything else.
Yeah.
Well,
So
anyways, I guess
let me
the
be specific
trees.
here. Let me be specific. So
Mhm.
the entire mass of the Earth.
Mhm.
Now, the claim. So what you just said. That's the claim of the globe, is that the mass of the apple plus the mass of the Earth, or at least those are the two that are involved, right? So that's a claim. Now the problem with that claim is that you don't know the mass of the Earth. Do you
Mhm.
see how that's an issue?
No.
Okay, so you don't know what it is. So you don't know what's causing the apple to fall because you don't know what everything underneath it is.
What? Like I guess I'm not understanding the leap
Okay, in
because
order
I
so
can't
let me
because I
in
have
order
not
to prove
experienced everything underneath the apple. I can't determine that the stuff underneath the apple are heavy.
no. The claim is very specific. The claim is that the mass of the apple is being attracted by gravity to the entire mass of the Earth. The problem is you cannot validate the entire mass of the Earth, correct?
Not by just looking at it now.
Okay, so that's the claim.
Okay.
We need we need proof that you can validate the entire mass of the Earth. Because remember, you're claiming that the apple is attracted to the entire mass of the Earth. Can you validate the entire mass of the Earth?
I think I just answered that question. No, I can't. I can't look at it and tell you how heavy it is. I can't just like
Is there
walk
anyone
outside
that
and look
has?
down and say that's about, this much tons. No. It's not like one thing I could just say and you and I will both go, "Oh yeah, that one's good." Or "Oh yeah, that one's the one." Or "Oh yeah, that one's completely disprovable, so it disproves the entire thing." Like it's not one thing. Like that's what makes
The
this
seasons prove
conversation
the
like
globe.
hard,
Go
right?
ahead. Let's prove the globe.
And this is where it makes the conversation valuable as well. Like I appreciate you guys, bearing with my, I guess non-answers or everything else I've been doing to you. I guess,
How would that make the
but
conversation die? Wouldn't this allow the roots of dialogue to go every which way? If it's the I got to put some words in your mouth, but the body of
sure.
science in its entirety, then there's things. How would that end the conversation? It sounds like the conversation's just beginning.
No, so like, what I'm saying is like, if I make one claim and let's say that it's, whether we
If you
agree or
started
not.
claim stacking, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
Ah,
Now, if we like
would you?
started doing that to
If
each
you
other,
started claim stacking and never substantiating any of the claims, would you not wonder what the hell you were doing?
yeah, I would be confused of what the goal was if that's what we started doing.
Well, the goal would be for you to realize that the whole water ball flying and spinning through outer space is a house of cards.
No,
There's no
no,
real
we were
foundation
talking about
for it.
claim stacking and the
Yeah,
reference to claim stacking, right? Like that's, I mean,
it's sort of
you've
like
had people come in here and do that to you, and I don't want to do that to you. I mean, it's one, I don't
yeah,
enjoy
but
it.
no, okay. So, but by you saying that would be your only option, that should raise a red flag. Remember when the wobble of the Earth got brought up when you guys were talking about the tilt?
Hmm.
Have you ever heard the expression "lipstick on a pig"?
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest, of course.
Okay, it's sort of like they add these embellishments to not, for you not to realize that, it's wine. They don't, it's the whole Wizard of Oz thing. They don't want you looking behind the curtain. None of these claims were supposed to be scrutinized. They were supposed to be done like you refused to do. They were supposed to be recited and accepted. The circularity of them is somehow okay with you guys. I don't know if you guys are not realizing it. But yeah, I mean, do you think it's a problem when all it is telling different aspects of the story and different details, just assuming the previous chapter is real? I don't know. How do you guys not see it as fiction? I don't know.
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it's one. It's hard to follow, but yeah, when you're throwing out just a
Shouldn't
massive
be
amount
hard
of
to follow.
information to somebody, it's just yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay, how does seasons necessitate a globe? Just answer it directly.
Let's see. How do seasons necessitate a globe? Well, you asked me that before, and I said it doesn't necessitate a globe.
Then
'cause
why
there
are
is other
you
things
acting
you can
as if
describe
it's
it.
proof?
Yeah, you said that was after we left the gravity thing, you said this is the best evidence we're on a ball. You said seasons.
Yeah, sure.
So
But
what's after
I didn't say it
seasons? Gravity's
necessitates.
Not
off the list.
proof.
Seasons off the list. What's number 3?
Let's see.
I know you said you didn't arrive with a list, but you just may leave with one.
Let's see. What's another one?
Why did you say? Okay, never mind. Let's not go down that road. Yeah, what's the next best thing? Because it doesn't necessitate it. So think of something that really needs it to happen.
I'm trying to think of one that stands on its own without any others.
Jeopardy theme music here.
Yeah, I'll probably be thinking for a while. I can't think of one.
Have you ever? Do you experience the Earth as a sphere in real life?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me one specific instance, like a memory that you had when you were outside, somewhere, that you knew for a fact this experience makes me 100% convinced that the Earth is a sphere? Can you describe that memory?
I don't. I mean, I have other really good memories, but I don't know if I have one that's like attached to that experience.
Is there just like one experience that made you 100% convinced that the Earth is a sphere? Like, just describe the experience that you had.
So it wasn't an experience that took me from 0 to 100. So it's more of somewhere on the spectrum. Traveling very far. Traveling very far.
Okay, where? From where to where?
In the United States to Australia is probably the longest distance flight, but I've been on longer flights, just more time in the plane.
So when you looked out the window, you saw the Earth as a sphere?
Nope.
Okay, so what? Why? Where's the globe in this experience? Like, where does the globe come in this experience?
And you're not gonna like my answer.
Just do it. Just say it.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna like it.
You know where I'm going.
Say it.
So I left.
No, I don't.
I left the Midwest. It was cold as shit. And then I went to Australia, and it was nice and warm.
What seasons? Is that what you're gonna say?
I told you wouldn't like my answer.
So why did
But
you
that's
say
one
what
example.
didn't necessitate it then?
is kind of
Why
fun.
did you say it didn't necessitate it?
Yeah, because it doesn't. On its own, it doesn't. Just
Well,
as I
then
told
it's
you.
cooked. All right, throw this one out too. All right,
Okay.
next.
Oh, sure.
It's cooked.
So where we're going to keep
So
going
the
is
list that's been crossed off is gravity, seasons, 3 times.
All right, think of something that's not seasons. Go ahead.
That's pretty accurate.
Think of something that's not seasons. That made you 100% convinced that it's a globe.
So again, nothing took me from 0 to 100. Everything compounds, right? So
Hold on. How do you
What's-
explain unseasonably cold or hot weather?
oh man, there's quite a few different like weather systems and other things that I'm not a meteorologist or anything like that, but like we're always told those words. I assume you're
Like
too far
water,
from
like
where
the
I'm at, right?
oceans. The oceans could
Yeah.
possibly be controlling the weather.
Yeah, like I don't understand the El Nino and La Nina or whatever it is. I don't understand the mechanism behind that.
All right,
Just wanna
Mac,
point out
what's the
one
best?
thing real quick.
What? Give me one that necessitates a globe.
Look, okay. Do you want? I want to be completely genuous, or not genuous. I want to be completely. So each time you've asked me this, I've said the same thing. There's no one single thing that all by itself stands alone to prove everything.
Is there anything that necessitates a globe?
One single thing?
Right.
No.
Is
I don't
there
think there's one
anything?
single thing.
So how are you experiencing it in real life, like you said?
The ways that I said.
It's the way he interprets the season. You don't experience it. You just interpret
I mean, that's a
it.
fair answer, right?
No, we don't have to
He
continue this
flies.
conversation if you don't want to.
He flies a few thousand miles away and it gets like twice as hot. So that's how he knows the source of heat is 93 million miles away.
Got him.
It's a huge leap. Okay, cool.
How is seasons equal globe not a huge leap?
No. This what he said was that was the only thing that made me say this is a globe.
Okay, but is there? Let me ask you this: do you agree that there's nothing that necessitates a globe?
I don't believe there's, as far as I'm aware, there's no one thing on its own that necessitates a globe. No
Okay,
one thing.
so keep
Let's go. Let's go.
keep pulling all these things out of the bag, and we'll see
Baby
if any
steps.
of them.
One of us. 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 Yay! He's
Well,
almost there, guys.
honestly though, I've heard Matthew Learn's answer give a similar answer in that when cornered into that.
It's
Well, when
false.
painted in, yeah, who knows?
Oh well.
No, it's not like.
It's not the win I think it is.
Well, I asked him straight up, how are these things not raising red flags to you?
Because he's not learning, even though he's Matthew Learns.
Was there a question at me, or still talking?
Sorry, we're talking about some other dude.
Yeah, I was
Some
just
other
saying,
dude.
how did these things not raise red flags? When this whole paradigm seems to just be supported by all these things that supposedly support each other, yet when examined one by one, they don't hold any water.
There's no one thing that necessitates a globe. Let's go.
Flat Buzz said time zones at Shane. How long ago that was? Oh, not long ago. And then not one thing. I'm not sure what he was referring to. I guess maybe, I don't know if he was trying to give me a tip or if he was challenging something. I don't remember saying anything about time zones, but.
Wow. Honestly, I did not expect you to say that. That's based.
I've said it multiple times.
Yeah, I know.
You've
But
asked me multiple times the same question. Is there one thing that necessitates a globe?
Yeah, but saying
one thing that
nothing
stands on its own.
necessitates a globe.
I didn't say that.
Okay, it's true or false? Nothing necessitates a globe.
There is not one thing that stands on its own. One single thing.
You don't answer true or false.
Because it's
You
not a
can't-
true or false question, man. Like that's
Well, another way. I think maybe a better way of phrasing the same question would be: what is there one thing that's a mutually exclusive proof for a rotating oblate spheroid? Mutually exclusive, meaning there's nothing that could be explained other than the globe. It couldn't be explained any other way. One thing.
All by itself? No, I don't think so. Nothing I'm aware of.
All by itself.
All by itself.
Well, I'm just asking for one.
Yeah.
There's none. So if there's not one, there's none.
It's over. GG. We win.
But
Yay!
out of your lived experience, you're still claiming there's multiple aspects of your lived experience that you can put together and form a globe out of your lived experience.
Yeah.
Well, another way of putting that,
more than one thing at a time. I experience more than
how
one
about,
thing.
How about this? Another way of putting that question. Sorry to summarize again, but another way of putting that question is: name one thing that's self-evident about living on a spinning oblate spheroid. One thing that's self-evident about it. Just one thing that's and then nothing like interpretations of the sky. You're just born on this earth. You didn't learn anything about what they say about the stars being billions and trillions of miles away. That you didn't learn anything about going around the sun. You just were born on this earth without anything like telling you what the sky's doing or any interpretations. Right? You would just assume that it's stationary and level, right? Like everyone did forever, supposedly, right?
Yeah,
I
think that's probably valid. Like, I probably question a lot because that's just the nature of who I am. But I probably would accept that if there was no tools, no conversations, no
interpretations.
Yeah, I agree with you. If there was,
so would you really be like, yeah, it's good that you're curious. That's probably why you're here. But let me ask you this then: would you be that surprised to find out that reality is like it seems, rather than the opposite? I mean, would it be really that surprising? Like, oh, so we're, the reason we don't feel like we're spinning is we're not spinning. Reading it seems level is because it's actually level, instead of the opposite with interpretations of the sky, substituting for your common sense. And what you would think would be self-evident. There's not one thing that's self-evident about a globe. And if we live on a globe, wouldn't you think there'd be one thing that you all would have as like self-evident? Oh, we know that, this time of year, we're going around the sun at this many miles an hour, and we have to batten down the hatches a little bit because, that little bit of acceleration change does actually cause something that we all know happens because we go around the sun, or some kind of effect of all of these extreme claims that you would like, everyone would recognize that definitely guarantees we're on this ball going around the sun 67,000 miles an hour, and the sun goes 500,000 miles an hour, 500,000 miles an hour through the galaxy. There would be something about that extreme claim that would come out as self-evident, you would think, right? One thing. But everything about a stationary Earth is self-evident, right? We're not spinning; it's level. There's no curvature. People don't, exist upside down relative to us, antipodal, and feel exactly like us. And it just, there's no up and down. And that just makes perfect sense. Even though we don't really have suction cups, we just have this idea that we're being pulled towards the center and all this. I mean, it's really a brilliant reverse engineering. You have to hand it to them. But what a better way to control society than to convince them that their immediate reality is the opposite of what it seems in every way. Then you could convince them of anything. If you could convince them there's no up and down, shit, you got them. Those are the basics. They just separated us from the basics of everything. It's common sense versus consensus. And they made sure the consensus had nothing to do with common sense. And the reason they did that is so that when you say what you think is true, and it doesn't make any common sense, right? It wouldn't be anything you would come up with on your own. You would never get there on your own. Then they know they gave you that idea. That's how they know they control your reality, because everything you think is real, they gave it to you as a, completely absurd belief that you think is like basic fact. That's how good it was.
What's going on, boys?
And not to interrupt in that conversation, but real quick, a big part for me was really thinking about how outlandish these claims really are for the globe to
Yeah.
be true. To think that, just for instance, like the atmosphere spinning perfectly with the earth in lockstep, and even increasing in speed with elevation to maintain this same illusion that it's not moving at all. It's when you look at all these things that have to be working in unison to form these grand illusions, it's a tall order if you really look at what heliocentrism is asking for you to believe.
Yeah, and the only way they can do that is with kinematic concepts and mathematics, right? So just take the kinematics, learning, Shane, a big part of this, it seems, is that there's a difference between kinematics and dynamics. Have you ever heard of the difference between those, or the idea that they're two different things, kinematics and dynamics? The kinematics is just like the math, the explanation for something, and they can Kepler with all the orbits and everything. You can just have the kinematic concept of it all. You could even attach numbers to it. But once you involve the forces, the real forces,
What's it
the
called?
reality,
The kinematic?
kinematics, KINEMA right? And then there's dynamics. The dynamics is the real forces, the dynamo, the physics, the real physical physics, right? That the globe doesn't answer for any of that, right? There's no real physical physics. It's just the mathematic explanation where it all evens out, like the guy was just saying. Everything has to just cancel out so that they can pretend it's one way, but say it's another, or know it's another.
In other words,
for it to be completely stationary all the time, and for us to be moving in all these different directions at these, millions of miles per hour eventually, that it's so absurd, it's so extreme. The only way to make that, somehow plausible is through just, canceling it out through numbers. There's no physics involved at all. No real forces that they can recognize or,
Hey, do you know what?
control.
Do you know what the flat earthers taught me? It's to not give an F about what anyone else says.
The flat earthers told you that?
No, the flat Earth, not the flat earthers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't give a shit what anyone else thinks or says.
Yeah.
Don't appeal to consensus.
And
Yeah, there's a difference between appealing to consensus. A lot of people you can gain a lot of information from people. You don't mean not to care about what anyone says. You're just talking about what the consensus says, right?
Yeah, or if if I don't believe something, if I know it not to be true, then I'll just, not care about it. But if I say something, that maybe I could be believing, I might take it into consideration. But other than that, it's like people are just like controlled by society. You got the round Earth, bloody vaccines, chemtrails, eating garbage, all that sort of stuff. You know, it's like people are bloody slaves. Like anyone still stuck in that matrix is like they're not even worth bloody dealing with. Not worth talking to whatsoever.
Well, there's the gems though. Like it seems that maybe even Shane here might be one of those people that you might assume that about if he thinks it's a globe, you know. But then it's cool when somebody that is actually inquisitive and curious and is using common sense gets what we're saying. That's why we're here, right? Because it's interesting the psychological process that we went through and seeing others, you know, confront the same information. And it's kind of cool. You know, it's cool that there's enough of us now that we're not being laughed at. We're being run away from because no one wants to argue with. They can't argue with us.
You know what?
We all believed the globe at one time.
It was really hard for me to snap out of it. I had to like listen to this guy, like this guy that basically saved my life. And when he said like about the flat Earth, I was like, "Oh, fucking shut up, mate!" And I didn't start listening to him until like a couple of years later, and it was really hard to snap out of it.
They trained us to reject it subtly. They really did. They just, you know, that was one of the things that was like the thing you would laugh at. The thing that makes the most sense, we were taught to laugh at as crazy. That doesn't tell you something.
It was like, you know, Nikola Tesla. My whole, like, let's say I grew up with him, and then he says the Earth is flat. I'd be like, fucking, you know, you bloody retard or something. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Without even considering anything more. It's a knee-jerk reaction they instilled in us. That it has to be stupid. For reality to actually be like it seems is the stupidest thing you could ever think. No way it's like it seems. It has to be the opposite of what it seems.
I was such an idiot. I even asked myself, like, all kids ask themselves, like, why doesn't a helicopter, like, just, you know, when it's above the ground, just move when the Earth's bloody moving or something?
Even in a world with all this practice inclusivity, that if you believe that your reality is how it appears, you know, it's okay to be bigoted towards those type of people and dismiss anything they have to say immediately.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the thing is like if they're in the process of you know, because we all were there, like the knee jerk reaction. It must be stupid to think that reality is like it seems. But it's interesting. Then there's people that, you know, because that's what makes it interesting to talk to them, whether they're gonna ever, you know, figure it out or not, because you don't know why one person sees it as like, duh, I'm so stupid for not realizing that already, and other people, you know, they dig in. And I think once you dig in, and it depends on how far you dig in, it gets even harder to get out because now you probably hurt somebody or, you know, gone on a rant, hurt somebody that was trying to convince you. And the more you lash out, then the harder it is to admit you were wrong because you've got that to deal with as well as being wrong.
I swear to God, if you bring up flat Earth over here, you get asked, like, you'll at least get asked this question if you're talking to, like, just someone like stupid or something. But they'll be like, have you been on a plane? And another one, and you know, that's silly because, you know, and it's weird because plane windows literally bowl outwards. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, they bowl outwards, and obviously you don't feel a curve when you're in a plane, but
you can only see so far, you know. Even if you were looking at through a window that didn't do that to the horizon, you might, you know, convince yourself that you're looking at, you know, the edge of a ball from up there because you can only see a certain distance. You could never see the whole Earth anyway. You know, you can't see that far. That's the whole trick is they convinced us that you can see the whole thing. You go up high enough.
That's true.
the ball.
And another one is this guy brought up that video, the Red Bull jump guy with the fisheye lens. He's like, how
Felix
come that's
Gumbo.
round? And
How
like,
come what?
even he was like, how come the Earth is round in that video when he uses like a fisheye lens or whatever? And
Yeah, you can see it like getting like a tennis ball, size when it gets closer to the ground. It's like
yeah,
the whole
Planet
thing's
New
covered.
Mexico.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like what's his name? Even Neil deGrasse Tyson said that shit is flat or whatever he said. Like,
Seems like they're gaslighting all of us with this. Like, why? I mean, why have a bozo like Neil deGrasse Tyson or Neil, Bill Nye? These guys are clowns. Why would they get them to represent the ballers? It's like the whole thing's gaslighting the people that actually believe it, and then gaslighting the people that can't believe that the people that believe it believe it.
and who's that British guy? Who's that? Who's the guy? He looks like lady faced. He's got like a lady face.
Bill Nye.
No. He's like British or something.
Some Brian.
Oh yeah. He was actually Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. That's it.
You see him in
this
the
guy,
band?
he
You see
looks
him in
like
the
a
band?
bloody
He's got long
mannequin
hair.
or something. He looks like
Have you seen him with long hair? He's got long. He looks like a total woman in the band he played in. Look up Brian Cox band pictures.
Been playing in the band, does he?
He literally
more
said,
like a woman.
Brown Cox literally said, he said, I know of no ancient culture that ever thought the earth to be flat.
It's got to be gaslighting, because why would they get these guys to be like the leaders of the clown show that they, want people to accept indefinitely as reality? Well, they just want everyone to be a clown, right? The consensus is a
His
clown
balls
show.
are flat, I tell you what. If anything's flat, it's going to be his balls. Got that none.
Yeah, look up the picture. Somebody posted a picture of him with like total femme with the long hair, 80s band. But it's like more like.
Are we talking about the transvestigation or whatever that conspiracy
No, we're talking about
is?
Brian Cox, the way he used to look. For real. I'll post the picture.
I looked it up. I looked up Brian Cox band. What's this? Darren Dream? Is that his band?
I'm just looking here. Here's the picture. I'll put the link too.
Wait, did you send me it in DMs or the side chat?
No, I'm copying it right now. I'll put it in the side chat. But you know what I'm saying? Why would they get these guys to represent, like, defend the globe? Why would that be their choice? Seems like they're either intentionally going to gaslight us forever with it, and it's just kind of like the royal, carriage riding through town and flaunting how rich they are and how you can't do anything about it. And they're going to tell you reality's stupid and you're going to have to. The emperor has no clothes. Everyone's got to, believe he's got clothes on even though he's naked. It's basically what it is, right?
I mean, he doesn't even look like a real human being. He looks like a fake bloody, like the fakest, like face.
You would think that's intentional. Why would this guy be the one they put out front? Or even like Elon Musk, the biggest gaslighting line ever is, it looks so fake it must be real. And he laughed, on top of that. And he's like tripping balls, tripping balls. Yeah. It's like they're faking it poorly on purpose. Yeah,
was that the thing
that was
about?
intentionally. It was like poorly done on purpose, you would think, right? Just to cause the discord about it all. Like, why wouldn't they just pretend they're doing something really scientific, right? Why would they just like have play with water on the ISS or golf on the moon. They could have faked it a lot better and made it seem like they're doing something scientific, and even come up with a bunch of stuff that they're actually doing and make it look really complicated. But no, they're just playing with water for kids, treating us like children, treating the people that believe it like children. And that's their way of like getting out of it, I think, mentally as well. Like,
you know what I like about
if you
Elon
believe
Musk,
this,
though?
if you believe this, then we don't feel sorry for you because you believe such a stupid thing. That's why they do it poorly on purpose, partly,
And
I imagine.
even Bill Nye saying, if there's one thing I want this generation to understand is that we live in an he said what did he say? He says we live in an enclosed world.
Yeah, you cannot leave Earth.
Yeah, you cannot leave the earth. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. Yeah.
These clips were just like given to
He's
us. And there's
saying
like there's so
how the
many
fuck do people go to the bloody moon? You know what I mean?
It's like all of these lines were like the perfect narrative for us to like go ha ha, because they want us to challenge the people that are their faith. They want the people that have a faith in this scientism to be challenged, because their faith has to be challenged, and it has to be faith because there's no proof for what they believe, but they think it's based on fact. That's the brilliance of it. And they had to make the claims completely outrageous so that they know people have faith in it. And if it was just something common sense you would come up with on your own, then they don't know that they instilled that mindset, that they made you believe something ridiculous. That's how they know they've got you under control. If it was something anyone would come up with on their own, if it was self-evident, Shane, then they would never know if they gave you your ideas or not, because it's something that we would all come up with on our own. It's common sense. The question is, how much do they know? Like, what is, how far does it go? What's the, how do you manipulate possible energy things and all the stuff they might know with the esoteric, knowledge they keep for themselves. And then there's the exoteric, kind of like kinematics and dynamics. You got the esoteric and the exoteric, because one of the first conspiracy 101 things people realize is there's like the hidden knowledge, and then they give us like the plebs, interpretation with all the faith and craziness that they humor themselves with making us, convinced of. And then how many of those people like Einstein or, people that coming up with the, theoretical physics and stuff, how convinced were they? Or, how many of them actually knew it was bullshit, but they knew their role was to put forth like a quote unquote real effort to figure out all the orbitals and, the reverse engineering. I mean, I think if they were reverse engineering, they had to know that there's an absolute reference frame, that the Earth is stationary and everything's based on that to reverse engineer it. You can't reverse engineer it unless, if you actually believe it. You would just be trying to figure it out rather than reverse engineer it. But they had to start with everything that they know are real observations, and then figure out how can they make those observations fit the ridiculous spinning ball idea. That took some work.
Over a lot of years.
Bravo. You have to give them a slow hand clap, especially with this revelation of the method. Do it faking space on purpose, without even caring if people realize how fake it is. That's the craziness we've gotten to now. That's how much control they have. They don't care if we know. In fact, they like us to know, and they're giving us a little wink and a nod with their, wires and on the ISS that they show us. There's no way we were showing all those wires on accident. They show it to us on purpose. But why? Is it just to gaslight us, or are they going to use flat Earth for some kind of, eventual like reveal in quotes where they can like say, oh, it's another whole pseudoscience to go along with their version of flat Earth. That's what I always talk about. That's would be crazy. Like if we're playing into their scheme by getting there for them to give us like another version of it with the outer ponders as aliens and such.
I guess it is. I guess it is Speculation Sunday after all. So yeah.
There we go.
And it's another thing is, I don't know, like in order for a new system to be sold to the people, the current system has to collapse,
Yeah.
And
they'll do it like a controlled demolition, right? They always plan the end so that they can, come out on the other side with the control still.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know the ISS is supposed to be put into the ocean 2030 or something like that? And that would be 33 years exactly after the time they say it was deployed into space. And then the same exact time span that they planned for the World Trade Center from the time it was born or made, constructed, to the time they took it down. 33 years. And I'll find my meme and post it in the side chat here. I made a meme about that because somebody was talking about that comparison. Then I noticed the 9/11 Twin Towers. If you took the sides of the Twin Towers and made them like solar panels, it's the exact same thing that the ISS. It's like they took the Twin Towers apart, on the sides to make the ISS panels. That's how close they are. And they're both 33-year lifespan. It's like a sigil of some sort. Kind of like maybe the Georgia Guidestones were, which also have a similar construction paneling.
There does seem to be a lot of ritualistic stuff that goes on.
That's the esoteric that we're not privy to, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, that information is pretty easy to come by. Depends on how much somebody's taking liberty with the interpretation. Who knows how close they would be anyway. It's very interesting. A lot of that information is accessible, but then it's kind of demonized. It's made out to be like some kind of I think they use that as a front, like people, anything that's like dealing with the secret, mystery schools, that's devil worship or something. They give it a black and white thing, and that's like the front, so people are scared to actually look into what the real information might be, in my opinion.
Yeah. It makes sense. Who knows, But there's definitely a lot of weird occurrences like that. A lot of weird numbers, and repeating patterns, and rituals, and
Bunch of important numbers.
nods.
Predictive programming. Oh, I found the meme. Check it out. I just, found a picture of the ISS, and it goes, even like the space between the little rows seems very similar to the construction of the Twin Towers. So I put one panel on the side of the building just to show how close it is. Exact amount, and everything. 33-year planned construction and destruction.
Like the ratios. Well, yeah, the rectangular ratios and everything.
Yeah.
That is pretty interesting.
It's like, we own this. This is the spectacle. We will build it and we will destroy it under our control. That's playing God, on Earth. That's how you become gods. Become the type of what they call demigods, gods that whoever it is that's controlling the people that we think are in control. whoever they are, bravo. Or like the money for the 9/11 stuff. Oh man, for Speculation Sunday, that's one of the most interesting ones where you fold the $20 bill. You guys have all seen that, right? You fold the $20 bill, the 50, the 100, the 10. Like it's just close enough that if you know it wasn't what they told us, it's got to be intentional. But if you think it's what they told us, then you're just going to look at somebody showing that to you as crazy. It's perfectly just not perfect, So you could totally see that it had to be intentional, or totally think it's crazy because it's not too perfect for you to deny it if you want to. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
I like that one because, I mean, it would be pretty damn cool if, like, you had something in your life where you did something as like I'm not saying this is what you're saying, but like if you had control over the dollar and you put some weird shit in it just to be kind of your legacy. Yeah.
Well, it seems like that's what they've done. I mean, like,
Yeah.
almost objectively speaking. Have you seen it? What I'm talking about?
Yeah. I've seen.
Well,
some
you've seen the
wild stuff.
owl, right? On the dollar bill, you've seen the little owl in there with a magnifying glass.
Oh, the hollow? Is that what you said?
An owl.
Oh yeah,
There's a little
yeah.
owl in one of the, yeah, I've seen that, right? But have you seen
Yeah.
the bills folded to look like 9/11, the construction and destruction of 9/11?
I haven't seen that one, but makes sense. VH.
Oh, when you see it, well, I don't know what you think about 9/11, but I've got that right
I'm
here.
all
I'll
over
show
the
it.
place on 9/11. So on 9/11,
Well,
is it
they
$20?
made these bills. They made these bills. These bills came out like 10 years before, right? New issue of bills 10 years before 9/11 happened, right? So I just posted it in chat. And so like the $5 bill, like you can see it halfway being constructed if you zoom in on that. And then the $10 bill shows like where the first plane hit. The $20 bill shows where like both towers are hit. The $50 bill is a crazy one because this big plume of smoke, right? Like they've fallen. There's actually two 50s, one that has nothing on it, like the smoke had cleared, and then this one, which has the smoke. They made two
Is that the
different
one
versions.
where you fold it and it looks like the 9/11 towers or whatever?
Yeah, I just put it in the side chat. And then the last one, the 100, has like the
I don't
drizzle of
see
smoke
anything in the
going from side to
side
side.
chat. Like, where's the chat that you're posting this?
It's
the chat
one
right
above,
above.
one above the live stream.
Well,
Live stream.
oh, is
place.
it right above? I'm using the side chat in this room, like the little quotation box symbol in the room we're in, between like next to your.
The live stream voice text, is that it?
That's not what I posted. I was using the side chat. I thought people in here use the side chat. Should I put it in the other one?
No, you put it in the right
I don't
spot.
know.
Oh, this is the main hangout. I didn't even know I was at the main place. I did put it in voice text. Yeah, I did put it there. Okay. Thought I was using the side chat. Does it go to the same place? No. Oh, you're not even able to post in the side chat in here anymore. Or now, at least. You never were, because at the original 24/7, everyone always posted over there. But when you go to the English pub or these other places, people just use the side chat because there's too many.
Yeah, I see it. Another one I noticed is the the no smoking signs.
Yeah.
That's like the two little towers at the end, and then the smoke coming off of them. That's another little 9/11.
Oh, I haven't looked at that one. No smoking signs. Okay.
Yeah, the no smoking signs. The two little towers at the end, smoking, like the smoke coming off of them. But there's like
same
a
with
million.
the Hilton logo. Have you seen that one?
No, but as I was saying, like there's like a million of those. Like,
Oh yeah, the predictive programming. You mean?
yeah. With 9/11 especially.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy. Have you seen any of that, Shane?
Uh, like the smoking thing, smoking sign.
No,
Sorry.
there's a couple of videos you can find where I could post it. It's just like all the predictive programming, like all the things that had, um, like towers being taken down in film or in a commercial or on The Simpsons or like all these advertisements that have like oh my God, it looks like they knew this was going to happen, and it's you know
There was
completely
also
obvious that they knew.
a film about like probably 10 months before 9/11 happened. It's about this government sort of plot to literally fly a plane into the fucking Twin Towers. And this
Yep.
guy's like, he saves the plane from like going into it.
That was a spin-off from the show from X-Files, yeah. The guys that were helping him in the computer room, yeah.
I mean, that's probably like the most obvious one. Like,
and that was like a month or two.
Here's
like
my
August.
conspiracy thing. Oh, sorry, Shomer, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that episode of the X-Files spinoff, that happened in like August. That happened like a month or two before 9/11.
oh yeah, a month.
Yeah.
I said 10 months. I forgot when it was. But yeah, I mean that's like the most obvious one.
Oh yeah,
it's like people always talk about like The Simpsons, like always having predictions in there. I'm convinced that the writers for The Simpsons are doing all this shit to us.
Well, they're a part of that esoteric group that we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're part of the group that actually do know that the towers are going to be coming down on this day, and they, weren't in the building, and maybe who knows how many people are actually in the building. But, they didn't show up for work that day. Right?
I used to like The Simpsons, but like I watch it now. I used to like sometimes I'll watch it now if it's on TV, and I'll be like, this is the shittest thing ever. I don't know why. Maybe I just like growing out of cartoons or whatever, but like it's so bloody crap. Like,
you mean
like,
the plot of a TV show or something?
No,
yeah,
just
it's
the whole
hard to
Simpsons
watch.
thing is.
The Simpsons. Yeah, it's just like crap a lot of times.
Yeah,
it's the same joke over and over again.
Have you guys seen that? Sorry, but have you guys seen Back to the Future predicted 9/11?
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
that. There's three. There's like the Back to the Future that has all like the 9/11 stuff, but then also the movie that was made about the guy that did the walk the tightrope between the Twin Towers. The guy that actually did that, and the movie they made about it, and how his jacket matches. He's got the red jacket and jeans, just like Marty McFly. And there's like this whole like string between those three movies. And the guy who made it, I think, is Robert Zemeckis. He made both of those movies. Or had a
Is that a Jewish guy? Robert Zemeckis?
I imagine. Robert Zemeckis, yeah, I imagine. Even if the name doesn't match, probably. Who knows if it's Jewish or Jesuit or whatever, Who knows?
It's normally Jewish, isn't it? Just the way it is.
We're kind of off the flat earth topic. I know it's speculation Sunday, but if anyone wants to get back to Shane, is there anything self-evident about the globe at all? Did you think about it? You'd think there'd be one thing, right?
You guys are ready to beat me up again?
I'm not trying to beat you up. It's just interesting, because it seems like you're a cool guy. Seems like you're actually interested, maybe curious, in that you're not going to be intellectually dishonest just to like hold a position.
Yeah, I try not to be.
Yeah, I heard you in here the other day. Actually, I I recorded you talking about the video with AI because you kind of thought there was going to be a fight about the video you brought, and it was more like, let's look at the information,
Yeah. I was pleasantly, it's not surprised, but more just that was a good conversation.
Yep. I'll post a link for that. I put it on I record a lot of these conversations because you can't really get it better than just hearing people talk about it. That's the best way to witness it, flat earth in quotes, because if you're just listening to what somebody says about it and it's all like, a scripted show or somebody talking for it or against it, where it's like, intentionally supposed to be a certain way. It's just people talking. They've gathered all that information from these different viewpoints and they're hashing it out. And if you're there in 2017 or whatever, this kind of got rolling and became a thing, you would have witnessed that flat earth won up back then. Flat earth won, as far as the debates online and, the obviousness of there being nothing self-evident about the globe. So, except for just like rhetoric that they had. And it's obvious if you were actually listening to those conversations back then. So I try to save as many of those interesting conversations now. And then I started posting them and people were like, expected it. So I kind of have a flat earth TV channel with a lot of conversations that people might find interesting to go back and listen to, now or in the future.
Sure.
It's the only thing that you might be able to know is real soon enough, or even now, because with the AI, anytime somebody scripts a show, they have like some kind of intention behind it, but it'd be hard to like have an AI bot be in the conversations that we're in and sound natural, at least at this point. I think
and they get AI to like write the scripts and stuff. Like, yeah. That's why I only watch every now and then bloody like Disney Snow White or something like that. Even though that's probably bloody, maybe we all think it's like Illuminati or whatever, but I still think it's kind of cool. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Disney, huh?
Yeah.
I just watched
Disney.
a short. I just watched a short thing that happened to pop up about Dolly and Disney made a film together, or they started making a film together, and then they threw it in the bin or threw it on the rack and never finished it. So they had to complete it. They had these artists in France complete it so that they could release it. They didn't own it until it was actually finished. Was the whole point. And it was like a short 6-minute Dolly / Disney film.
I heard from this guy. It was like this guy into anime or whatever, but apparently the Lion King is like a complete, like the movie is a complete rip off of this other thing. I've forgotten the name of it. It's like, but it really is like, it's like a complete rip off of this other thing.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Depends on how close of a rip off it is, because if there's so many motifs or storylines that you can't really blame someone for repeating to some degree.
They try to personify animals. That's where the whole furry thing came into business. That's where also the whole vegan thing, and these like especially in like European areas, Western areas, because they personify animals as being human.
Yeah,
like,
makes sense. Bambi, don't eat Bambi.
Oh, Bambi's mother, no.
Right. Now they're doing that with the AI too. They did that like with the robots, and they had that one that Will Smith was making out with or trying to hit on or whatever. And they were aiding a lot of these AI stuff is aided by a human, but they make it seem like it's just the AI. It's still a little bit of an overlap, supposedly, where they're helping the AI seem more real until it gets to that point. And probably how they're getting people to invest so much in
I'm
it.
not too sure, but it's sort of, it takes animals out of their like natural place in the food chain. Because obviously, when you look at animals, they're not people. They're like just, they're roaming around eating whatever they can find and stuff like that. Like they're.
Well, I definitely think there's an effort for them. They want us to eat bugs and cheap
fake meat,
whatever
laboratory
they
meat
do
and
not want us
pills.
to eat laboratory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the agenda.
Yeah, that's all a part of it. Do you think it's going to happen? Or do you think it's already happening? Because I heard they're putting like laboratory grown meat in Aldi and Lidl and that. Like,
and what?
And they're putting they're replacing whatever they're selling in Aldi and Lidl, which is like a store over here, with laboratory.
Okay.
They're putting laboratory grown meat in there, and just saying, "Oh, it's meat," but they're not actually telling anyone. It's like a social science experiment or something.
Yeah, I imagine, and then they use human DNA or something for some of it, right? Isn't that like part of the ingredients is like human?
Yeah. Human. They get human remains or when they drink child's blood or whatever, they put the.
Yeah, there's a Soylent Green like
put the
direct
bodies
from humans, possibly, but then there's also something about the lab grown that needs a human, like something to make it grow better or something. I don't know. I try not to look into that. I want to know, but I don't want to know because I don't have too many choices of what to eat. That's the case, but
always support your local farmer. Get a good connection with them, and like these supermarkets, everything in there is bloody garbage. Like nothing. I only get from there like, let's say something that I can't get over here, like chili peppers or something like that.
The biggest thing is the pasteurization. A lot of people seem to think now seems very on.
You're on about the raw milk?
Yeah, the raw milk. It just makes me feel like you can just tell when you drink it. My opinion.
I just gave a little bit of raw milk to my buddy. He said, "Wow, holy shit, tastes amazing." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame because
they just they just water it down and process it to the point where the nutrients are gone.
Yeah, and when the nutrients are gone, they call it fortifying, right? They add these chemicals to it that are made in a lab. So even like the best milk in the supermarket is fortified with like absolutely artificial chemicals.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, man. Like the elite, whatever, the cult-ridden elite that have mastered the art of getting us to think what they want us to think, are now having the abilities to master the technology of what how our body will develop and grow and our mind will develop and grow by being able to engineer this food, just like they've engineered these systems.
They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah,
it's just going to get more fancy, more more intricate.
They want to make sure as soon as you retire,
cow farts.
As soon as you retire, you're gonna. Yeah, they want to make it so that no matter what, like just about when you retire, or even as soon as you retire, you're just gonna give all your money back to the hospitals for medical bills. Perfect.
As far as the elites are concerned, like money don't even matter. It's just to make us like more fucking poor or whatever.
The meat won't have certain nutrients your mind needs to function, in a healthy state. Or who knows?
Yep. Hip replacements. I mean, how many people? Like, really? Is it? I mean, everyone's got weak bones by the time they're a certain age, for this reason, probably.
I learned the other day in Japan, right? You get like, I think it's called torisashi. Do you guys know what torisashi is?
No.
It's like a raw chicken dish that they have with like soy sauce, maybe. I don't fucking know, but apparently that became illegal to sell in restaurants in like 2016 or something. Like they were eating raw chicken all the time over there, every day. In 2016, the bacteria is going to get you. Something like that.
Salmonella. Yeah, it's funny. We have. I don't know if you know about a guy who goes by Blob. He was just eating raw chicken on camera earlier today.
I ate it yesterday.
Something about it. Do you do that? How do you just right out of the supermarket, or do you have to like go to make sure it's from a local farmer?
I make sure it's not fucking. Yeah, if you ate it right out of the supermarket, like you'd probably be fine, to be honest. Like
that's what he does. He thinks it's better to eat the raw chicken out of the supermarket than to cook the chicken in the supermarket.
Yeah, no, I try and get it as like good as I can, like high quality, But I'll slice it up and just eat it like that, really. A little bit of cartilage on the bone, whatever that stuff is. I don't know what it.
And you feel like it does more for you, like when you drink the raw milk, you know your body.
Yeah, with the raw chicken, it's really light on the stomach. Like it's really light. I don't feel it in there. Like I could literally eat like a kilogram of it. And but with cooked chicken,
you have to get past that. You have to get past the mental part of it at first. I imagine we're all just so, like with flat Earth, we're trained to think that's not healthy.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is that you just think like, people have been doing it for ages. Like, I mean, Japan does it. They're like the longest living people on Earth. They eat raw fish, and thankfully they exist. Because if it weren't for them, there wouldn't be any like raw food on Earth at the moment. Like, because that's like the only raw thing people eat nowadays is raw fish. Or like fucking raw vegetables.
Tastes so much better. I can imagine it'd be the same, I guess, eventually with any meat. Yeah.
People eat close to raw beef. People eat raw beef too.
Yeah, steak tartare, metbrötchen, which is raw pork. The Eskimos, before they were colonized or whatever, they used to eat bloody raw food and drink the blood of seals and stuff. They had no heart disease, no cavities, no nothing. But
if cooking food is a psyop, that's one of the most brilliant ones too. Like it actually is bad for you to cook it, but it tastes so much better when it's cooked. Man, what a good job they did with that one. That's the psyop.
Yeah, but you got to put seasoning and all that sort of stuff on it when it's cooked.
Yeah,
it tastes better when it's raw, I think.
I can imagine that's like the truth because sushi tastes way better than cooked fish.
Yeah. Also, with like raw fish, like apparently, like with the whole mercury thing, the people and they've done these like studies with these people who eat like raw fish every day. They found no higher content of mercury in their blood than like anyone else.
You think part of that's just a psyop to get us to not eat raw fish?
The whole mercury thing in fish is a myth. They don't want pregnant women eating it. They don't even want anyone eating it. Yeah. They're like, the mercury's going to bloody get you. when it's all based
Right.
off of like probably, you know, cans lined with bloody BPA and all
Right.
this fucking
Right.
shit, like, you know.
Raw eggs is the other one. Raw eggs, I can tell the difference the way my body feels. If I'm eating the raw, I feel like I get the nutrients directly. I can tell. I can tell the difference with the raw eggs.
You know what? I
They
don't eat
don't want you
the
doing that.
I don't eat the egg whites. I only eat the yolk because I feel like it does something to me. The egg white, it doesn't feel right in the stomach. Feels like it's
They
because
say it's
apparently it
actually
has.
better to cook the egg whites a little bit because there's some chemical or something like that. It's not as good
Yeah,
in the
it's like
raw.
some anti-nutrient
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, it does something too that, yeah, like you're not getting the benefits if you eat I understand what you're saying. But if you cook it just a little bit, but keep the yolk runny, that'd
Yeah,
probably be
yeah.
the best way to go.
Yeah, you don't want no hard egg yolk. Like, you'd be a retard to want to have that.
We're speculating on food and everything else. There conversation that people want to have besides raw food.
I mean, we can deviate on certain things. It's
But that's interesting.
whatever.
It's a psyop. Bread is the other thing that kills us. They say.
Oh yeah, it destroys your like gut lining and makes you go mad. You know, disrupts the because the gut's connected to the brain. You know, and apparently schizophrenia is caused by it a lot of the times.
Folic acid, like the enriched flour, they put all this
Yeah.
folic acid in it.
Folic acids.
I don't think like natural, like if you like milled your own grains, I don't think it's quite as bad for you there.
It's not as bad, but you know, like you'd still be getting like I guess a dense source of energy, but you know, you can't only eat that. You know, it's not something you can live on. You know, you'd have to have some meat as well with it.
Oh yeah.
Some people think that you could actually live forever if you did, the right diet. It's basically the chemicals that they put in the food or the air or the wrong foods. Otherwise, you should
It's
be
probably
not live
the
forever, but live
Illuminati
a lot longer.
drinking bloody child's blood all the time makes them live forever.
Yeah, or just blood in general, maybe. Wonder if you drank the blood of a animal, could that give you longevity as well? How old do you think some of these people are if they know the secret?
And it also seems like fermented food and the diversity of your gut biome is really important in this conversation as well.
That's why we're talking about like raw food, because that's when the bacterias and enzymes are active, so it helps the gut bacteria, gut flora, stuff like that.
We think bacteria is gross or harmful automatically, when it's actually the thing that might be the best thing for you. Again, opposite
And
of
parasites also. People are fear mongering parasites, bacteria, viruses. I mean, viruses are all like man-made anyway, so. But parasites are all symbionts. They live in harmony with the body.
The one thing we can't talk about, I guess, is some of this medical stuff, from what I hear. Just to let you know, since we're on YouTube.
Of course.
The V word. Try to avoid that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how strict they are these days. Sorry, just letting you know. That and some kind of like protected group, whatever, for the YouTube, there's some.
Yeah, but as I was
guideline.
saying, the bacteria lives in harmony with the body. No other animal cooks their food. Not because not because they can't do it, it's because they would never do it. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like denatured crap. Like, you know, you will, you know, it loses all the B vitamins, which is why everyone apparently supplements bloody B12 and stuff. But, you know, 50% or 60% of the vitamin D, depending on how long you cook it. And, yeah.
It's a hard one for a lot of people, especially if they love good cooking. You know, certain recipes and stuff.
Yeah. It's
You
just
don't even
like,
try to put anything on your chicken. You just like it just straight up. You don't try to like put some lemon on it, a little salt, anything, sea salt.
with the raw chicken, like supposedly soy is going to make you into a transgender or whatever, but I have a little bit of soy sauce with it, or I grate a little bit of ginger, like a tiny bit, because ginger's like quite overpowering. But,
right.
I don't know. I don't think I could do the raw stuff now. Now smoked, which still keeps temperature down low, or like possibly fermentation, like curing. You know,
right?
You know,
if
fermentation.
it was to be raw, you know, I could do like the something cured or fermented. You know,
Would you eat?
which
Because
is still broke down and stuff like that. But yeah, no, you don't got me on the raw chicken. No thanks.
Well, I ate it a couple of months ago. 2-year-old. I left this. It's called high meat, right? It's called high meat.
You have to burp it.
It's where you leave like raw meat, or I left like raw calf's liver in a jar for 2 years.
2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Oh my god.
And I ate it, and it tasted like I felt fucking good afterwards. I was like laughing.
People say you trip, you almost hallucinate. Don't you? Like it's a high.
What? Yeah.
Have you heard of Natasha
Natasha Campbell?
McBride? Natasha Campbell McBride. Yeah. Sounds like
yeah.
you have. Yeah.
I know all about this. Yeah, she's quite nice. She's like, eat some brain, eat some caviar, eat this and that. She realizes the trend in like autistic children, which is growing, and soon every child will be autistic if we keep feeding them like garbage. You know.
Well, they say that's the shots too, right? About to bring that up.
Yeah, the shots, the everything. Yeah, the food, especially the food and the shots. Autism right there, you know.
What do you think the reason behind that is? Like, autistic kids are easily disposable, or they're just like easily controllable, or what do you think it is?
It just makes them bloody like, you know.
I mean,
they don't even.
if everyone's autistic, what kind of society would that be? What are they trying to do?
Well, they don't even see like their own family as like, you know, like as their family. They see them as like foreign people for some reason. Like
depending on the type of autism or severity of it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not like every autistic person, is it? It's not like a common trait.
Depends. Like as a kid, it's probably every or like if you get the kid a shot, and then they're being like, you know, they're like something like that, and they don't know how to string words together. You know, be like paranoid all the time, and like, you know, like a bit.
Well, what would be the reason
sort of.
for having everybody? Like, if that's like so common that like the majority of people are autistic, what's their plan there? Is what I'm asking. Like, how would society even work if everyone was autistic? You know?
Well, it's just a byproduct of, you know, the whole shots and the food.
Oh, you
I
don't think
don't
it's
know what it
intentional?
would. Oh, it could be. Yeah. I have
If
no
it is,
idea.
what's the reason? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, dumbing people down is one thing, but just having them be not able to have an intelligent life at all, or you know, any
It's
kind of
because you wouldn't
social abilities.
you wouldn't have geniuses at that point. You'd have retards.
Right.
But
Which is what
I
they
get
have
like
now.
there's a
some.
lot
Not
of
as bad.
autistic savants, though.
Yeah, I know. There's
Yeah.
autistic supposedly, but you look at most autistic people, they're like just, you know, they might be like obsessed with playing a game or something, or you know, they're not like geniuses like Nikola Tesla or anything. But
You think that might be in preparation for the automated world they're creating? Like, you know, they don't want people like philosophizing or having social revolutions of any sort, or you know, any kind of introspection.
yeah, but they
The
don't want
autistic
people
people just push
connecting.
the button. Yeah, push the button and go along with what you're told to do.
Yeah,
Like Idiocracy. Like those people are. When you think about that movie, you seen it? Idiocracy.
I
The guy
haven't
goes
no.
to the future. Well, it's like set in the future where everyone is basically autistic, like you're saying, and he's like not a smart guy, but he's from the past, so he's 10 times smarter than them. It's a good movie. It's the guy that did King of the Hill, Mike Judd. He did King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead. That's one of the movies he wrote, along with Office Space.
Oh, King of the Hill, I love that. Even though that's like probably some bloody Illuminati shit in there, I don't know. But
Yeah, he could be like Matt Groening, does The Simpsons. He could be like in the club or whatever, maybe.
yeah, Natasha Campbell, she's predicting that by 2030, about one in like 1 in 1.5 children will be autistic, just because of the sheer amount of garbage people are eating and the vaccines people are getting.
Yeah, you got to stop with that. But you got to stop with the shot thing. But anyways, we heard it like
Oh yeah, the
first
shot.
times. But have you ever considered that maybe there's more people than ever who have been educated to diagnose autism?
Sorry?
Well, think about all the people who have been educated over the last couple decades.
Yeah, but look at
who have been
kids like
trained
naturally.
to quote unquote diagnose it. So maybe because there's all these people with these specialized. Oh, and I've met them. You know,
Look, naturally, there's no autistic kids in like, you know, especially like indigenous places, which don't even exist anymore. But when they used to exist, there were like all the kids got along with each other. They never.
the people that were communicating via clicks and whistles. You don't think they would be diagnosed as autistic?
None of them were. No,
Well,
none of them.
okay.
Autism is a completely like unnatural thing, you know.
I don't know.
So it shouldn't
I think it's blown
exist.
out of proportion.
But yeah, you know, it's to make
Overdiagnosed.
us like all not, you know, get along really. Like we're all sort of skeptical of, you know, like the person sitting next to us or whatever, which you should be really, but
Well, just think of how many people who identify with the label and who have self-diagnosed themselves as, "Oh, I'm autistic."
yeah, but they're bloody
Maybe just like to do puzzles.
No, it's like a thing. I think it's like a way of like trying to compliment yourself, because almost like saying you're like focused so much on this thing that you know so much
I'm
about it,
high-functioning
like
brain.
a savant. It's like they're trying to take on the autistic savant part of it without, which isn't
They're trying to
awesome.
get the bloody disability benefits, the payments from the government. That's what they're
No,
trying.
it became
That's
well
what they're
maybe,
trying
but
to do.
there's it became like an in thing to call yourself autistic
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're
I've seen
so
a lot
good,
of people
you're so
doing
good
that.
at
Yeah.
something.
I just call it nerding out.
I posted a thing in the chat of the
Call it a
DSM
nerd.
classifications for autism to kind of back up what old Haas was saying. That like we don't really have definitions that were as broad as they were in 1994. So you got like a massive amount of people being diagnosed with autism because now there's words you can attach to it or subtypes.
Oh, by the way,
mean it
also
wasn't.
with Discord, you're not supposed to post any medical stuff, as far as I've been told.
No, you can post whatever you bloody want. Right?
Oh, can you? I didn't know that.
Discord, I think. Yeah.
No, there's rules for Discord that you have to kind of follow with medical stuff. From what I've
What in this Discord? Or...
Yeah, in this Discord or any Discord. So I'm going to delete that if anyone wants what he just posted. I can't delete it. Actually, I'm not a mod here. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, and also consider this is on YouTube. So there's those. Anyways,
yeah.
Wow, we even got to this point.
Sorry?
We were just talking about your gut.
We were talking about raw meat or something. Pasteurization.
Yeah, I think I missed the whole 40. I was doing another thing. I was away for the whole 45 minutes. I heard
there's a psyop not only about the globe.
For a moment.
It's like the
we got from
psyops.
9/11 cooked foods to bacteria and fear mongering to stuff like that, and then the autism thing because that connects to that.
Well, it started with also the esoteric versus exoteric information and how they keep that whatever the maybe true or more accurate knowledge for themselves and give us the globe, or whatever to believe, whether it be diet, whether it be anything. And that there's nothing self-evident about the globe. We've learned that tonight, right, Shane? I got to go soon.
I'll be back in a moment.
Going full circle. Yeah, I got to go too. So nice to meet you. I sent you a DM. You'd think there'd be one thing that's self-evident about the globe if we actually lived on the globe, is the point, right? I mean, that would make sense. You would think. It doesn't mean you have to think it's not the globe. If you're still here, Shane, you would think there'd be one thing, right? Maybe. You would guess. It might be one thing.
I think you heard me. I'm really tired, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make any sense what I'm about to say.
That's fine. I am too. No worries.
I appreciate it, man. The dolly was interesting. I never heard anybody eating raw chicken. That's interesting stuff. It'd probably kill me right away. I'd have to.
Yeah, maybe if you're not used to it, maybe make you sick. I'd imagine. I don't know. I've never done the raw chicken. It would gross me out. Psychosomatically, it might make me sick.
I've seen like people like post online or whatever, like, oh, I had a medium rare chicken breast. Like, oh.
Oh yeah, exactly. That even grosses me out. Like even that, like if you fit into your chicken sandwich and it was raw in the middle, you'd be so mad.
Yeah, but man, that guy's gut has to be phenomenal, man. He could probably like lick the bathroom floor that Heathrow and be fine.
Right. Does make sense, like the whole idea, like even just like you're talking about with like the way they make us, so germ paranoid, like is being cleaner actually unhealthy because when you're a kid and you're drinking out of the hose and maybe like you're building up an immunity to a lot of things if you're not worried about having everything be so sterile. There's a point to be made there on a lot of different levels, probably. But then there's like actual poisons that they're putting in possible things. I don't know. Whether whatever it is, the environment's probably not that great for us. Maybe intentionally, who knows?
I like George Carlin's little rant about that, about getting exposed to germs. He had a pretty good little rant about it.
What's that?
George Carlin,
Do you
the
remember any of
comedian.
it? I love George Carlin.
I mean, well, he
I
has a
wondered what
skit about it. You can just look up George
Yeah,
Carlin
I
germs.
figured
or
I might recall it if you
Yeah.
gave me one line, because I like him a
Uh,
lot.
he talked about he grew up swimming in the river in New
Oh
York
yeah,
or
yeah,
wherever
yeah.
it was. Yeah,
Drinking from the
being
hose. Probably what I
temp-
said was
tempered by
partly from George
swimming in
Carlin.
human shit.
Yeah, drinking from the hose. I think that's where I might have even got it from. Something he said about drinking from the hose.
Yeah, that might be in there too. It's been a while since I've seen it. But it was a pretty good little rant about it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good ones. What a guy. I like his rants about stuff, like taking your stuff and you have to go here and you have to take some of your stuff, not all your stuff.
Yeah, we need another George Carlin.
Yeah,
That's what the world
really
needs, man. If there's anything we need, it's that. We need another one of those guys.
There are some guys out there. I mean, not on his level necessarily, but there's some people out there that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin was kind of good.
The comedian from The Whitest Kids You Know, that I think he ended up dying, but he did some pretty controversial comedy.
Who?
I can't think of his name right now. It'll probably come
The
to me
Whitest
shortly.
Kids You Know.
Yeah, those used to be a skit comedy show called The Whitest Kids You Know, and it was one of the main guys off of there. And he did some really controversial comedy, years ago about 9/11 and about many topics. You should look into some of his work. If I can remember his name, but you could
Trevor Moore, maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
I just googled it. I didn't even know he passed away, man. Oh.
Yeah, he done some really controversial shit.
Probably why we never heard of him, or some of us. He doesn't get put in that.
Yeah, no, he definitely didn't sell out to the big industry.
How'd he die?
That's exactly what I'm looking up right now. Accidentally falling from a balcony in Los Angeles from his home.
Yeah.
Head first.
Yeah, you should look some of those stuff, man. It's pretty spicy.
Was there a suspicion that it wasn't suicide, or was he just drunk, or what?
They said that it says in here that subsequent toxicology reports identified alcohol as a contributing factor. But I'm guessing he was probably pretty good at alcohol. Yes, man. It sucks, man. Young dude, too.
Did he have a good friend? I wonder if this is the guy I was reading about, because there was a movie that was really disturbing, a crazy movie that was actually up for an award this last year, and then the guy that made it was like friends with this guy that fell off a balcony. I don't know if it's the same guy. They were both filmmakers, and the movie kind of is supposed to reflect some of his dealing with losing his friend and all that, some of the rage. The movie was like, man, that was one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. What was it called? Oh man, it was up for an award this last year. It was anyway, this like witch comes into town and starts like gathering the kids up into her basement through her spells and keeping them there like zombies. It was like really disturbing. So, and it was up for an award this last year. Let's see. I just say don't watch it unless you are interested in being disturbed. Not too many movies can really do that though, so you want to watch it for that reason. Yeah, it was called Weapons. Did you say the guy's name was Trevor Moore?
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's the friend. The director of
Really.
the film Weapons, Zach Kreger, was deeply impacted by the tragic death of his best friend and longtime collaborator, comedian Trevor Moore, from the White Kids You Know. That's where I had heard it before.
Wow.
Circumstances of the death. On August 7th, 2021, Trevor Moore died at age 41 after an accidental fall in the second story balcony of his Los Angeles home. Blah, blah, blah. Zach Kreger channeled his grief over Moore's passing into writing the script for Weapons. You wouldn't know it from watching the movies. I've seen it, that it had anything to do with his friend's death necessarily, but somehow it did in his head. Yeah, the woman that's in that plays the witch won an Academy Award for acting for supporting actress. And they don't. The weird thing is, I watched the Academy Awards this last year, and that film, and there's another one that's really bonkers. They don't give you any warning. Like, not that they should necessarily, but people that are like still watching the Academy Awards are going to go see these movies without any kind of idea that it was as disturbing as this one was, or like the one that I ended up going with my parents with on Christmas one time, and it was like, oh my god, that you would never know from the preview that it was as crazy as it was. With it was called Poor Things, and what's her name's having, like, it's basically like a porno. We called it Porn Things afterwards. I'm sitting there with my parents on Christmas night watching this because we didn't want to go to the other one, whatever it was, and Willy Wonka. Anyway, you want to watch a softcore porn movie? It's called Poor Things, and it's kind of a Frankenstein movie with what's her name, having sex throughout the whole thing.
Oh.
But she's like a child. I don't want to give it away now. Yeah, it's Emma Stone. She's great. The whole idea, since it's been out for a while, is the Frankenstein type character um, finds this woman that's pregnant, right? That jumped off a balcony trying to kill herself. But the baby lived, right? And he finds the body with the pregnant woman, and the baby lives. So he takes the baby's brain and puts it in her body. So she's got her own baby's brain, but she's like a fully grown adult. That's how
Wow.
crazy the movie is.
That's
And you're
messed up.
not
Wow.
warning like older people. They're gonna go see this without any warning.
Yeah.
That this he's like a total nymphomaniac too.
Jeez.
So like a child nymphomaniac. And if you saw the preview, like which we did before we went to it, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And then when she won I think Emma Stone, won, Golden Globe for it or something. There's no warning at all when these people win these awards that they go see this movie that you might as well call porn things.
Yeah, reading the description of it doesn't even really tell you that much. It's like, oh, it's like Downton Abbey, Victorian London.
Yeah.
Who's the body is brought back to life. Oh, yeah,
Right.
Trying to slip some of that desensitization in there.
It's weird. It's almost like a joke on everyone. Like we're gonna get them to watch this, and they have no idea. We're not gonna even hint at it. It was a really amazing movie, regardless of all the sex. It was awesome set decoration and all kinds of stuff. But totally out there. The guy that made that is the same guy that did Begonia. That's another weird one from this last year.
Yeah.
Begonia, did you watch that? It has a flat Earth at the end of it, by the way. Emma Stone again, playing the alien. But then when they show the world that she's from, it's a flat Earth with the firmament. There's so many flat Earth references. That's the other gaslighting thing they've been doing. I mean, they've got Matthew McConaughey, a hot air balloon saying space, the final frontier. Actually, he's in a space helmet. Then he takes off the helmet and goes, nah, we got to worry about what's going on Earth. And he's in a hot air balloon. So you think he's an astronaut, and then he's in a hot air balloon. Then you got Kyle MacLachlan walking through like or Ewan McGregor walking through like he's selling a TV, some kind of I don't know, an advertisement during the Super Bowl. These are Super Bowl commercials where there's direct flat Earth messages. The guy, he's walking behind the TV, and on the TV you see the astronauts are in space, but then behind him they're on wires. If they really wanted us if they really want us to believe all the space travel stuff, why would they do that?
I think it's interesting.
Of course.
You know the metal band Mudvayne? I think it's interesting. They have a song that talks about gravity and the firmament and stuff like that, and came out in like 2002.
Yeah, there's lots of hints in music. I love going back to the old songs and finding that stuff.
I believe they put that stuff in the movies because they know that we're waking up and that they're going to have to disclose it eventually. So they're preparing us. The whole predictive programming thing. Thank you.
Well, what if they plan on doing it? What if that's what I was getting to? Like, what if the whole idea of releasing flat Earth or allowing it or knowing it was going to be like a hive-minded thing, They planned on it on that day where they act like we forced them to tell us the truth, but then it's like this whole pseudoscience version of flat Earth where oh yeah, there's a firmament, there's no more land, it's just a firmament, and God's real, and you should now be like separated into your own religious fights and all this again, or maybe even like the air in the big firmament's contaminated, so we got to get you in these small smart city domes to protect yourself from the air in the big dome. That would be the perfect way to get people into smart cities. Tell them the air is trapped inside and poisoning you or something.
So there's throttling the release until they could figure out more thorough control mechanism.
Well, yeah, or they have it planned already. I think that even if there's not outer ponders, I call them outer ponders because as soon as you realize they're not a spinning ball, first thing I thought, at least, that there got to be a lot more land, a lot more civilizations, right? Could be an infinite plane even. Who knows? I mean, why would reality have an end to it, right? If it's not, if we're not in a vacuum of space, then where would the end be? And what would that look like? Even if there was like a firmament or, some kind of barrier you couldn't get behind or beyond, doesn't mean there's not more reality on the other side. Like if you put your hand through whatever it is, would your hand go into a non-reality? It's almost like it has to continue on until proven that it doesn't, in my mind.
I have the
Not that I'm
same I have the
infinite.
same amount of evidence that it continues as that it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't know. But that's what I was getting to. Like, even if there's not anything else but what this area is, they could use that idea of other lands or outer ponders as, what they've been building up to with the aliens. But the reveal, the big truth reveal about quote unquote flat Earth will be, including that the aliens are our ancient ancestor outer ponder, higher, technologically advanced beyond what we've gone. Maybe good outer ponders, bad. They can have all kinds of stuff. The psyops are endless with that idea. Whether it's true or not, they could give us a version of it that would give them like real time gods. Kind of like with the AI, like, oh, the AI did it. We have no control, or the outer ponders are here. We have to do what they say, or you have to be like them. Maybe we should emulate them. They have smart cities. We have to be like them. All kinds of stuff. But aliens from outer space is not only not gonna, they're too far away to even believe that they get here. But then you're having to use aliens, and if you're psyoping people with that, you have to have costumes and everything. If it's ancient ancestors, just humans, you just have actors play the part of the ancient ancestor. But they could do it so good we won't know. Even flat earthers won't know if they're really from the outer ponds or not. That's how good it could get. You know, Because if it was an alien, you just want to squash it like a bug. But if it's an ancient ancestor, highly advanced, version of a human, that's a little bit, um, that gives you so many more opportunities. Then there's some kind of intelligence that we're dealing with, not just like some alien we want to squash like a bug. And you could have all kinds of like intricacies to that new paradigm. And maybe that's why they're faking space poorly on purpose. So, the controlled demolition of the whole idea.
Have you heard the theory that the outer ponders are threatening us and that's why they're doing such a poor job faking space, because they want us to realize that it's fake, because they all know
Yeah.
that the outer ponders are threatening us? I thought that one was pretty interesting. So
Yeah. That's an idea. Who knows at this point? If that's the case, who knows? They could put in all of those different interpretations, and how will we ever know which is the correct one or why? You know, like, yeah, but it does almost seem like they're doing it fake, like they're trying to give us wake us up kind of secretly, even though it's the outer ponders that are making them make us believe this bullshit. So they do it like poorly on purpose as like a little hint. This last one, the Artemis, was pretty bad. It was really bad. That was one of the worst. It almost seemed like they were laughing. Did you see where they were like talking to the president, and there was no delay between talking to the president? There's supposed to be like a 9-second delay, and they messed up on it like 3 times, and they were totally laughing at themselves. Like, none of that's live, really. They pre-record it. They wouldn't show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're showing that to us on purpose somehow, for some reason.
I like the recent one where the recent mission where there was like where there was supposed to be a delay and there was like give me a thumbs up, and the one dude was like
Yeah, that's what I
instantly
was talking
thumbs
about.
up, and the other guy was like Picard from Star Trek face palm.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I put that on my channel. I'll put the clip in the chat. That was like, there was a lot of people actually. I had some normie friends after the whole Artemis thing. Uh, totally on board with the things I've been telling them for 10 years. Maybe not completely flat Earth, but my friend's wife was like, "Oh, the moon landing's fake," and all this stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I've been telling you." Yeah, it almost seems like they're doing it on purpose. I don't think they have too many things that they let people, let become a phenomenon without it, some kind of plan B or intentional reason for that dissemination of information to spread. They don't really want to kill any paradigm though. They don't want to kill any one idea. They just want to have their hands in controlling, whatever narrative it is. They don't want to kill it. They just want to use it and control it. Because the Discord, like we're on right now, that's what it's all about. Give you 3 different versions that aren't true so everyone can argue about it.
Did you say you had that clip handy?
Yeah, it's on my channel. I'll scroll for it right now.
Appreciate it, man.
Sure. Yeah, it was Mark Sargent's show was playing the clip, so I recorded them playing it, and then I repeated it a couple times to show how bad it was. Here we go.
That in the camera scene where it shows all 4 of them in the shot, and then the camera's like smoothly like
It's
panning
moving.
over and shit, and
Yeah, who's
looks at
holding
the
the camera?
window and holds still. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like
If they're
trolling
going to spend all
almost.
this money on it, you'd think that they wouldn't make mistakes like that, right? They would think about these things. I mean, they're spending how much money on faking it? They could do a way better job, you think?
I mean, one would think.
But it's just perfect. It creates the discord. It has us calling it out and other people trying to argue. It really is gaslighting the believers, like to have to, defend this shit. It's really, I think that's who they're laughing at more than anything. People that still are, defending it, no matter how bad it gets. It never ceases to be funny to me. People are just so confident, because it's like obviously the consensus, and that's, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're insulting and confident and dumb at the same time. It's hilarious. There's a lot of that on my channel. Stuff from in here, stuff from other places. If they're being a dick, it's even funnier because they're being a dick and they're wrong at the same time. Happens all the time.
And insult to injury for themselves.
Yeah, I feel bad for some of them. The true believers that really just want it to be true aren't they're being nice at the same time, actually being nice, genuine. You don't get that often though. The genuine people usually realize. I mean, like if you had 10 friends of like reasonable intelligence, you would think if they consumed all the information we did, they would obviously know that we're not on a spinning ball, right? Like 9 out of 10 at least, right? You would think. They won't look into it. People that actually look into it end up realizing it, but most people that they're trained not to reject it, so that's what they're banking on, is people rejecting it rather than looking into it, or they're banking on people eventually looking into it so they can give us the outer ponder ancient alien psyop that I was talking about.
Yeah, at least
Actually, I made a meme for that one too. Hold on, go ahead.
9 out of 10 people that can be, honest with themselves and even care to find out, to have the courage to find out what's real, many people are just they're perfectly fine. They're saying it doesn't matter, they're perfectly fine staying right there.
And it's fun. It's something you find out. Is the crazy part about it. It's not like something you decide to believe, or it's not like you decided to not believe in the globe anymore. You just realize you're not on a spinning ball. You can't unrealize that. So anybody says they were like flat Earth and then they decided to believe in the globe again, that's bullshit. You can't unrealize something.
Yeah, flat Earth isn't about belief; it's about the suspension of belief that we were
Yeah,
taught.
it's the loss of a belief more so than the gaining of a new one. Right? Once you lose the belief you're on a ball, you're back to your base axioms. And that's just what we all experience directly, which isn't a belief, it's just your direct experience.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been talking about Outer Ponder since 2017. They made some memes of me with Outer Ponder background and stuff because that's the only thing that made sense to me. If I like, wait a minute, is this some? Why are they not trying to kill it more? So why they're not making enough of an effort to kill it? They're like one foot on the gas and one foot on the. Are there stills in there? Are there people actually pushing this for a reason? What's going on here? Well, the only thing that would make sense is if they're planning on because the alien stuff they're disclosing, kind of coinciding with it all, would make sense that they would, you know, link the two together and say that the aliens were always just ancient ancestors with, outside of this realm. And, now that we've come to this point of awakening, we've graduated to become their, you know, to follow their footsteps or something. There's so many ways you can control societies with they had the UFOs or something that was flying around up there. We know that too. There's real technology that they're using. And that's why it's interesting. Recently, I've been doing some sessions with my old buddy E1, who figured out actually a possible layout for a flat Earth, a dual pole flat Earth, and it's all electromagnetic. And that's really compelling because if you look at an electromagnetic field, the way that got the counter rotation with the rotation, clockwise and counterclockwise rotation, and next to each other, just like an electromagnetic field. That's what the stars make in the sky. And that makes a lot of sense. If it's everything's electromagnetic, we know we live in an electric world. We're electric beings. Everything's electric. And the gravity field between the poles on the flat Earth only works on a flat Earth. So pole to pole with the magnetic field lines. And that's where the longitude comes from. And then they saw the stars circling around, and that's where the latitude comes from. Because if you have the longitude between the poles, you can go from pole to pole. Then if you want to know how to navigate around the poles, you have to have the latitude lines. And that comes from positions of the stars. It's the perfect parallel to how things look and seem. And it seems like maybe that's part of what they've been hiding as well. Because talking about a two-pole flat Earth is like talking about flat Earth to a normie. But you're talking to flat Earthers. They reject it almost out of hand for some reason because the AE map's been kind of put in front of us, in my opinion. All right, I got to go soon, but I'll post the meme that I made about the Outer Ponders and what they might be planning on doing. And I like to try to say it all in one breath. You read it, that's why I wrote it as one sentence. But it says, ironically, the flat earthers were the most useful when the government decided to finally admit we're on a stationary plane, trapped inside of a domed firmament where God is watching your every move and making popcorn for the upcoming Outer Ponder, Ancient Ancestor, Extraterrestrial, Ocean Emerging UFO Directed Energy Weapon PSYOP invasion that'll make 95% of the world's population live in a perpetual state of frenzied panic until they're told that everyone just needs to give up all property ownership and personal freedoms to avoid a more immediate death and get the internet turned back on as soon as possible. I could actually hear George Carlin saying that one. To get the internet turned back on as soon as possible. I'll post one thing about my friend who's I'll just post one thing and go. But this is one where I actually play a bunch of the unlisted clips that I'm making a final version of me just talking with my friend about the dual pole flat Earth. Seems like weird that a lot of flat earthers would reject the dual pole flat earth, with the whole TFE thing being like a thing that people, that ballers are always trying to use as like a proof, because this just kills that. I mean, 24-hour sun work. He just used the GPS from the Nautical Almanac, lined them up with, he had the dual pole version of the graticule transform that he didn't even know existed, because he's been like offline and doing everything hand drawing all his maps and everything. And he came up with what I actually had saved already, the dual pole exactly like that. But he came up with it on his own from looking at the GPS and figuring out the way the continents had to be arranged. But the key was that he found out, or figured out, actually it's not even a theory, they moved the prime meridian 33 degrees, 33 again, right? They moved it from the line going over the Great Pyramid, which is why the Great Pyramid was built there, so that the sun comes up and the equinoxes all line up. But they moved it, which is another way of like controlling the mapping of everything, it seems, is to move the prime meridian. It's an arbitrary starting point for the starting of Aries and the way the stars circle around. So it doesn't really matter technically that they moved it, but the star's relation to the sun matters. And the esoteric symbology that comes out of it with the ley lines and all that, something that he discovered was seems to be part of the reason that they obscured that starting point to be over Greenwich rather than over Egypt. I know that was a lot. Sorry.